Welcome back to Generation Rogue on this beautiful fall day. I don't know about you guys, but I have felt like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders after seeing the election results last week. I feel like there's some real hope ahead for America. Now we just got to keep Trump alive and away from the psychos. But election results also outed, conveniently, a lot of people on the left. People are showing their true colors, and their colors are not the colors of joy after all. Surprise, surprise. Instead, they're the colors of mental illness and psychotic breakdowns and toddler style meltdowns, all of which we'll be taking a look at today. Also, guess who the left is blaming for Trump's victory? Latinos, of course, and as a Latina, but also in general, just someone who does not appreciate such blatant inconsistency. I have words for those people. Plus, the new movie Wicked, which we touched upon briefly in a previous episode, just released some Wicked-themed Barbie dolls. The only thing about the dolls, the doll company accidentally put a link to a porn site on the doll packaging instead of a link to the movie. Really can't make this stuff up. It's wild. And lastly, the CDC continues to push back milestone timelines for babies and toddlers. Why are they doing that? Why are we being gaslit, it seems, to believing that stunted development in our children is normal? Why are our kids developing slower? And what is RFK Jr. and Make America Healthy Again, that whole movement, what are they going to do about it? That's what's coming up on Generation Rogue. So before we get into everything, I want to remind you, if you haven't already, support Daily Cloud's historic work by ordering the Pfizer Papers. The book is on Amazon. The Pfizer Papers features the latest analysis on the Pfizer clinical trial documents. You can order it on Amazon using the link in the description, or simply go to Amazon and search the Pfizer Papers. I know some of us aren't fans of Amazon. However, buying from Amazon helps us reach the bestsellers list. So it is important that you order from Amazon if you want to support us in that way. Please consider going to Amazon, even if you don't normally order from Amazon. It does help us out a lot. All right, so y'all know I'm very excited about these election results. I think a lot of people in this Daily Cloud community are. And for the most part, I've been trying to refrain from posting passive-aggressive trash talk on my social media. But man, it's been hard. We've been called garbage. We've been called Nazis. We've been called all of these things. And and the left doesn't like it when we return the trash talk. I very much enjoy trash talking, and so this has been an interesting process. But the holidays are coming up, so we want to have a nice, peaceful holiday meal with friends and extended family and everybody. We want to get along with everybody, but again, it is hard. And so for the most part, I've been taking it easy. And by taking it easy, I mean observing other people's posts on social media, which is also very entertaining. Specifically, posts from Kamala supporters. Remember when they were part of the party of joy and the party of love and the party of acceptance that cared so much about women and immigrants? Well, this is them now. Enjoy the following compilation.
All right, so first things first, I can't say whether or not every single one of these is totally legitimate. It's very hard to track down all of these people. Not all of them have their usernames up on the recording. These are just reactions that I found across Twitter. And also there is one that's from when Trump was first elected president, but I still included it just because it just shows the really insane reactions of individuals to Trump being elected. Lastly, I want to warn you that there is some language in some of these. So if you have your volume turned up, you might want to turn it down a little bit. If there's children around, take note of that.
No, no, no! You were wrong. It's an utter betrayal for anybody that is not a cisgendered white Christian.
If you voted for that man, if you voted for anybody other than Kamala, and you live in one of the states that it was, close, or if you didn't vote, fuck you. Fuck you. I don't want to hear about how shitty your life gets under his policies. Live with that decision. Sit with it. Let it make you uncomfortable. Fuck you.
Donald J. Trump is now President of the United States.
What a great honor to be able to introduce for the first time ever anywhere the 45th President of the United States of America, Donald with a gracious aid.
I am so sorry to my world. I am so sorry to my world. This is not what we want.
We will face challenges.
There's so much potential
we will get the job done.
for beauty and for devastation. In this one
steps
moment, it's just almost incomprehensible that they can exist right now. So
And we are grateful.
So close.
My way together, okay? Let it out. Let it out.
So, wow. Just wow. You might see these clips and think this has to be fake. This is so ridiculous and so bizarre that these people have to be actors. Like, there's just no way they're not faking it. And there's no way that this is a normal reaction of a functioning person to the loss of their preferred candidate during an election. I don't know what everyone's religious affiliations are, but when I see these kinds of reactions, there's something about it that feels very demonic to me. These are not normal reactions. What was Kamala's central issue? Her central issue was abortion. People were calling this the abortion election. She focused on abortion so much. And to be clear, I wish that Donald Trump was 100% against abortion. I don't think that's realistic. I don't think he would be the candidate if he was 100% against abortion. But he's certainly not advocating for child murder in the way that the Harris administration has done for the last several months. So these people are reacting in this very, I would say, demonic way. Who screams bloody murder because they're told, no, we aren't going to protect your right to murder your child in the 8th month of pregnancy? We're not going to do that. And their reaction is to scream, like literally scream. That's not an exaggeration. And to be clear, if you don't already know, Satanists have publicly declared that they consider abortion a sacrament, literally child sacrifice. I'm not going to use euphemisms. I think that euphemisms are often used on this topic just to try to dehumanize and make it seem like just, it's a medical thing, it's healthcare, it's all these things to make it seem like it's normal and there's no innocent life being taken away here. So you're essentially telling someone that they can't murder their kid. We're not going to protect that right under, federally. We're not going to restore Roe v. Wade in the way that the Harris campaign has wanted to and said they would. So what kind of person reacts that way to that kind of news? This has to be someone who puts child murder on such a pedestal that they cannot stand it when people say, no, actually, that's wrong. I don't know if you guys have seen movies like The Exorcist or these other movies like that. This is the kind of reaction that's like throwing holy water on someone that's possessed. They're like screaming, like they're being tortured. And also, you don't really want to look at their eyes either, because their eyes are very kind of wild and strange, and it feels unreal. So obviously we need to stick to our guns, continue standing up for the unborn, but also stick to our guns literally, as in keep them close for self-defense, because there are psychopaths running amok. And many of them appear to be mentally ill. Many of these people are truly, truly unwell. So before I show you some other examples of these unwell people, parents, I've got an early Christmas gift for you. We've all been there. 1 minute your kiddo is bouncing off the walls, and an hour later they're super sick. You feel helpless, and it can turn your plans upside down, especially on vacation or during the holidays. After thousands of customer requests, the wellness company has just launched the Kids Medical Emergency Kit. You no longer have to deal with emergency illnesses in panic mode. You have now you can have 6 critical medications at your fingertips to treat 20 plus illnesses for issues like strep throat, ear infections, lice, and respiratory illnesses. Avoid urgent care in hospitals. The Kids Emergency Kit has been hand-selected by the wellness company's medical board and includes chewable amoxicillin, dissolvable ivermectin, and an optional EpiPen, and more. This includes a detailed guidebook guiding you step by step through emergencies. Ordering this kit is simple. Only parents can order for their children. Fill out the intake form and you'll get a verification call for consent. Then it's delivered to your door. Don't wait until you're in the middle of a crisis, and avoid late night urgent care runs. Order your Kids Emergency Kit today and remove panic from your life. And if 1 or 2 of the scripts run out, there's a replenishment option to restock only what you need. Go to dailycloudhealth.com and grab your Kids Emergency Kit right now. Use code KATE to save up to $40 at checkout. These kits are only available in the USA. So this next story, if you haven't seen it yet, it's very, very sad. A man murdered his entire family and then committed suicide after seeing the election results. This is from Punch newspaper, although you can find the story all over. The shooter, aged 46, had a, quote, pattern of mental health issues. Duluth Police Chief Mike Sinoa said on Friday. One day after authorities found 5 people dead inside 2 homes in the city. Authorities found Anthony Nephew's ex-partner, Aaron Abramson, aged 47, and their son, Jacob Nephew, aged 15, dead from apparent gunshot wounds inside their home on Thursday afternoon, police said. After identifying Anthony Nephew as a suspect, police found his 45-year-old wife, Catherine Nephew, and their 7-year-old son, Oliver Nephew, dead from gunshot wounds inside their family home nearby. Before the tragedy, Nephew apparently had been sharing left-wing and anti-Trump posts on his Facebook account. He says things like, quote, "My mental health and the world can no longer peacefully coexist, and a lot of the reason is religion." He also says, quote, "I am terrified of religious zealots inflicting their misguided beliefs on me and my family. I have intrusive thoughts of being burned at the stake as a witch or crucified on a burning cross. Having people actually believe that I or my child are Satan or the Antichrist or whatever their favorite boogeyman they are afraid of this week." In another post, he accused Republicans of making it hard for women to leave abusive relationships. So clearly another very severely mentally ill person. Radical Harris supporter, thinks Republicans are evil. And after finding out that Trump won the election, he proceeds to murder his entire family, his children, his wife, and even his ex-partner before offing himself. These people are insane. Now, obviously, not every Harris supporter is deranged. However, I find it very strange that there are so many of these crazy, outlandish reactions coming from the Harris side. We didn't see people having these kinds of reactions when Trump was first elected. We didn't see these reactions when anyone else got elected ever. This is not normal. And that should tell you something very sinister about Harris and her campaign and the people who follow her and her radical stances on things like abortion. Reacting like a demon who has had holy water thrown on them is not normal. So be aware of the crazies, everybody, because they're out there. Okay, on to some more perhaps humorous reactions to the election. We have some liberal women shaving their heads. They are shaving their heads and swearing off men. And the sad part about all of this is that these are some of the more tame responses to Kamala's humiliating loss. So they're calling this the sex strike, where basically women are shaving their heads and not having sex with men for 4 years or until a Democrat is back in office. Here's an article from the People's Voice. It says, liberal comedian Kathy Griffin has joined a growing, quote, sex strike, declaring she will abstain from intimacy with men until a Democrat president is back in the White House. Okay, first of all, Kathy Griffin is 64 years old and married. I'm so confused. Is she going to punish her husband by denying him any intimacy because Trump won? What is this? What is going on right now? Here is another woman's explanation. Take a listen.
Have I given up on America? Yeah. I've also given up on coloring this hair because, right? Fuck coloring my hair. Fuck having my hair be long and luxurious. Fuck all that shit. Fuck being skinny. Fuck being hot. Fuck being all the things that the patriarchy wants us to be. Because clearly, they don't give a shit about us. And I'm talking to you too. Those of you ladies who have the internalized misogyny required to do what you did.
Okay, sorry, I have to pause it. Am I the only one who's a little bit disturbed by her? I'm sure she's not a hairstylist, but like, isn't it pretty common knowledge that if your hair is long, you need to like cut it before you start buzzing it off with a buzzer razor thing? She's just like going over the same piece and it's not doing anything because her hair's too long. Sorry, continue.
Minorities who are so scared of a woman in power that you'd rather cozy up to the white man just in case some crumbs fall off his plate so that you may eat from them. Yes, scraps. I don't know how to work this thing, but I'm on my way. I'm gonna figure it out. Let's just do some cutting. You know why? Because this is taking too long. Here we go. Short hair we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We're cutting it off because fuck you. That's why. You think I'm crazy? Me too. Crazy. Just like all the women before me who were crazy. So fucking crazy. You know, it's been a year. It's been 9 years, 8 years, whatever it may be. Around this time, 8 years ago, it's one of the worst times of my life. It's when my life fell apart. Not because of this. Don't get too excited. I'm just talking about regular life stuff I talk about on here. But trust me, I understand. I've heard the message loud and clear. We all have. Now, women are going to have to just refuse to participate. Sorry, if you're a man, I will not be responding to you. If you are a man, I will not be talking to you. I am going to be promoting the 4B movement from here on out. Care, I don't care. Better scissors, my hair, cutting it all off. Probably painting a target on my back here, but whatever. At least I live in a state right now that has civil rights still. And we voted out Brandon Williams. Fuck that guy. Back to Texas from whence he came. We also voted yes on Prop 1, which will codify into law some equal right protections in the New York State Constitution. So we did that at least. The other fuckers are doing. But I don't know, man. We are embarrassing on the world stage. Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. Seriously? Oh, I've never had short hair before, ever. It's kind of fun. All right, we're just going to keep chopping away here because this is literally going to take forever if I don't. Pull all the hair off. You know why? I'm not going to dye it anymore. I'm going to try and grow it out anymore. I'm not going to style it anymore. Fucking done. I will not be giving my money to the beauty industry anymore. I will not be giving my money to anyone that helps support misogyny and the patriarchy and keeping women down and making women think that we need to look a certain way or be a certain way, or fuck you. Fuck you. Women, fucking stop dating men. Stop having sex with men. Stop talking to men. Divorce your husbands. Leave your fucking boyfriends. Leave them. They don't give a shit about you. And I promise you, come over to this side. I will bake cookies. I will shave your head if you want me to, depending on how this turns out. Do a little more trimming before we buzz it. Where's my hair before? It's like, oh, don't cut your own hair. All right. When people tell me I can't do something, but I want to fucking do it. Just entering my middle-aged mom era. About to get the clippers out.
Okay, yikes. Big yikes. All right, well, I guess she did figure out that she needed to start cutting first. And I love how she was just going in there with the scissors with no particular plan, just sporadically cutting random pieces. I don't know about you, but I'm getting pretty tired of this this victim, just talking about being a victim all the time. It's so tiresome. This victim mentality and it's just, please stop. and these women are rightly getting roasted on social media for how stupid they look. Not because they're now bald and look stupid, but because they are so immersed in their self-created victimhood that they see this kind of protest as something brave or empowering. Meanwhile, women who are not so privileged are actually facing hardship. And meanwhile, you could have donated your hair if you cared so much about other women as you claim to. How about women with cancer? Nah, they don't need to have nice wigs. I'll just shave my hair off to make a point and throw it away and continue being selfish. Selfish, unbearable jerk. The funniest part, though, about this protest, this sex strike, whatever you want to call it, is that these women, once again, were supporting Kamala Harris, whose central campaign issue, whose most prominent theme was abortion. And now these women are like, well, we're just not going to have sex then. And we conservatives are over here like, yeah, that's the point. Good job. You finally figured it out. If you put 1 ounce of willpower, that willpower you're now displaying to everyone into having a sense of self-control in your everyday life, abortion wouldn't have been such a weird, sick obsession of yours in the first place. It's all backwards. But hey, maybe liberal women have finally started to figure it out, you know, we have to have some hope somewhere. For those of us who had been holding our breath for the past several months, we can now exhale. Work can finally be done on the major issues this country is facing, one of the most significant being our national debt. The fact is, our nation is broke, and that debt is a house of cards that can't quickly be dismantled. So the strategy remains the same. Diversify your savings. That's why I buy gold from Birch Gold Group. So many things are out of our control, out of our president's control. It's important to have a safe haven for your savings. Birch Gold Group, my gold company, will help you convert an IRA or 401k into an IRA in physical gold. And the best news, it doesn't cost you a penny out of pocket. Text Daily Clout to 989898 to get your free info kit. Plus, right now through Black Friday, you'll receive a free 1 ounce Silver Eagle for every $5,000 purchased. Protect your savings with Birch Gold. Text Daily Clout to 989898 and claim your eligibility for free silver today. So, what else has the left been up to post-election? Well, the party that claimed to be inclusive and accused the other side of being incredibly racist are now extremely racist. Surprise. Of course, someone must be to blame for Kamala losing. And obviously, we all know that white people who voted for Trump must be white supremacists. But what about another group that they can pin the blame on? What other group could they possibly blame for Trump winning? Oh, yes, Latinos. The left is now blaming Latinos for Kamala losing. They're like, oh, Trump wants to deport them. I don't understand why they would vote for Trump. Here's a post from someone called Cussing Chan. This person says, is it wrong if from now on I distrust all Latino men by default the way I do all white men? Or would that still be racist? I mean, if they vote like white men, I should treat them like white men. Yes, obviously there's good ones, but we learned today that they're in the minority. Okay. Also, here's a graph from an account called Angel Riviera, or maybe it's Angel, I don't know. And this person says, I'll talk about this tonight on Angel in the afternoon. I could tell after the 2020 that Latino men would vote for Trump at a larger margin due to the trends, and liberals didn't want to see it. Latinos/Latino men in particular carried Trump to the White House. Okay, here's another one. This is from someone called Lil Mexican Girl Who Be Crying. Okay, she says, I'm not only embarrassed, but truly ashamed of my community. So many Latinos voted for Trump and helped him win. Oh, it's so embarrassing. All right, so here's what I want to say about this. First of all, clearly the Dems are not the party of inclusion and acceptance and love and joy and all of this. They're only like that if you agree with everything they say and vote for them. It's very dependent on that cooperation. If you're not cooperative, they're not nice to you. You'll be isolated. You'll be, treated badly and called all of these things. The minute you stop supporting them, you're a Nazi enabler. You're a misogynist. You're this or that. Not only that, but the idea that you should vote for this one candidate only because you're from a certain place or because of your race, it's not only outrageous. That in of itself is incredibly racist. You're telling a group of people, hey, you don't need to think about it. Why would you need to think about it? This is the candidate you need to pick because you need to vote for your race. This was a similar marketing. There was a similar marketing for women, right? Women were told you could only vote for Kamala Harris if you care about women. You're a woman, so you have to vote, this way if you respect yourself at all. This is incredibly insulting because you're effectively saying there's no need for thought, only identity politics. You want to know why there's so much animosity between people of different backgrounds and between men and women? It's because the media keeps pitting them against each other. They never fail. This is like their full-time 24/7 job, pitting people against each other, separating them into all these micro groups of oppression and then using those identities, whether it's being a woman or being Mexican or whatever, to say, this is the only candidate for you. You don't need to think about it. You don't need to do your own research. Voting for the other side makes you a traitor to your culture and to your sex and to your people, whatever. And it might be surprising for people on the left to hear that some of us, in fact, clearly the majority of us, are still capable of thinking with our brains instead of our skin. We don't immerse ourselves in victimhood. We don't get butthurt over jokes because we understand which candidate actually cares and which candidate was a chameleon. We like people who are genuine. And yes, obviously there are photo ops and campaign strategies, but we know a fake person when we see one. And that is Kamala Harris. Aside from that intuition that she's fake, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize Trump's record of success and all the exciting plans he has. Will he complete them all? I sure hope so. Meanwhile, Kamala's campaign was focused pretty much the whole time on baby murder, being a right, and fear-mongering people into supporting baby murder. And towards the end, those incredibly cringe ads featuring a guy jerking himself off because if they couldn't win men's vote by claiming their wives would die if they can't kill their children, maybe if they convinced men that they would no longer have access to porn if Trump is elected, they could get them that way, because there's no way men would stand for porn being banned, right? Sorry, Kamala, it didn't work. People showed up to the polls just like you wanted them to, and the answer was no. Are you ready to move easily and independently without pain or stiffness holding you back? Discover Native Path Collagen, a collagen formula that is scientifically backed to increase bone mineral density, accelerate tissue recovery, reduce wrinkles, enhance hair thickness, and strengthen weak or damaged nails. Who wouldn't want more collagen with all these benefits? Native Path Collagen is a single ingredient formula with no fillers, additives, or artificial sweeteners. Plus, it's third-party tested for heavy metals, ensuring purity and safety. It's completely flavorless. Native Path Collagen can be added to anything, coffee, smoothies, oatmeal, you name it. I personally add it to my coffee in the morning. Its peptide formula makes it more bioavailable, meaning it's absorbed more easily and mixes perfectly without clumping. And the best part, Native Path offers amazing bundle deals. You can get 3 or 6 packs at a fraction of the price of other brands. With over 4 million jars sold, 1 million happy customers, 8,000 5-star reviews, and a 365-day no-risk guarantee, Native Path is a trusted choice. Right now, when you visit getnativepath.com/dailyclout, you can stock up on Native Path Collagen for up to an incredible 45% off today. Plus, free shipping. Every order comes with that 365-day money-back guarantee, so you can try it risk-free today. Visit getnativepath.com/dailyclout and start your transformation today. All right, so a couple more interesting stories here. The movie Wicked, based on the Broadway musical, based on the book. The movie is coming out in a couple weeks, and of course, they have been going hard with the marketing. One of their marketing campaigns was Barbie dolls from Mattel. There is a Glinda doll and an Elphaba, Wicked Witch of the West doll. Well, apparently Mattel, with their giant company and large teams of editors and everyone else, didn't notice that the link on the Barbie doll packaging actually leads people to a porn site, not to the movie website. Yes, you heard that correctly. Mattel, this huge company, accidentally not only put the wrong URL or, had a typo in there. It's not only the wrong URL on the Barbie packaging, but a URL that leads to porn. I'm not sure why we're still surprised at this point. I mean, I found myself kind of shocked when I read this, and I was like, but honestly, why am I shocked? Why am I shocked that these big companies do things like this? It's happening more and more often, and I'm not convinced that it's an accident personally. But here's what Mattel had to say. This is from today. They said, quote, "We deeply regret this unfortunate error and are taking immediate action to remedy this." The company also included a message to parents who have already purchased the item. They said, quote, "Parents are advised that the misprinted, incorrect website is not appropriate for children. Consumers who already have the product are advised to discard the product packaging or obscure the link and may contact Mattel customer service for further information." Yeah, I don't know about you, but I find it very hard to believe that this was an accident. If you're a parent, keep your eyes peeled. There is crap like this everywhere, and it's so mainstream now, it's very concerning. Obviously, not just on packaging, but you have woke companies like Disney trying to slip in some garbage into their movies, like, oops, sorry, we didn't realize that was in there. Oops, sorry, we're trying to be inclusive. The slippery slope has already started, so stay alert, I guess. Yeah, it's pretty bad. One more story I want to get to today that is perhaps the most important, and I need to do quite a bit more research on, but I wanted to bring it up today because I still think it's important, even though I can't make a full video on this at this point with the information that I have. But the CDC is continuously pushing back milestones for infants and toddlers. Here's a chart showing some of these changes. They changed the milestones to reflect what 75% of children can do at a particular age. So first of all, they removed crawling as a milestone in general. Crawling is no longer a milestone. And then walking alone was moved from 12 months to 15 months. Actually, some sources say 18 months. If your child isn't walking by 15, you wait till 18 before you take them to a pediatrician, I guess. Rolling was moved from 4 months to 6 months. First word was moved from 12 months to 15 to 18 months. 2-year-olds are now expected to only use 2 words together rather than 2 to 4 word sentences. This is mind-blowing. 3-year-olds are no longer expected to use full sentences in conversations. All right. So first of all, why would they change the milestones unless most kids were falling behind on the existing milestones? They said 75%. They're updating their milestones to reflect what 75% or 3 out of 4 kids are able to do at that age. That's the majority. So if most kids are falling behind existing milestones, why is that? Why would you just push that back the milestones instead of maybe asking why are most kids developing slower than normal? And removing crawling as a milestone? The CDC said they removed this because not all babies crawl. Not all babies crawl, apparently. Did you know that? I didn't know that. So they pushed back all the other milestones because they're trying to meet the rate of 3 out of 4 kids, majority, 75%. But even though most children also crawl, they're just removing crawling because not all kids do. So then I was like, okay, well, what percentage of babies don't crawl? I mean, I don't know that much about babies, but that sounds very strange to me. According to World Health Organization study, 4.3% of babies skip crawling on their hands and knees. So the CDC is removing an entire milestone because 4.3% of babies don't crawl? How does that make any sense? So like I said earlier, I haven't really delved super deep into this story yet, and I need to do a lot more research. But this is very concerning, and I'm very interested to see what the Make America Healthy Again campaign with RFK Jr. is going to do with this. We are knowingly and unknowingly exposed to so many chemicals that it's no wonder it's starting to slow development. Actually, Dr. Wolf just did an interview with Dr. Hadar from the Wellness Company talking about fluoride in water. RFK Jr. plans to take that out, among other things. There's lots of stuff in our food supply that, ingredients, toxic ingredients that are banned in Europe. And I guess we're going to get to work on banning those here. That might help some. Obviously, there's, discussions about childhood vaccines and things like that. I think these are all really important discussions, especially when you see the CDC doing things like this, pushing back milestones, important milestones for childhood development. And, unknowingly, what are the other toxins out there that we're exposing ourselves to and our children to on a daily basis without even knowing it, right? Like we think we're eating healthy, but actually there's microplastics in our dishes and in our bottled water and all of these things. And it's just very overwhelming and very concerning. And I really hope that RFK Jr. is able to tackle that right away. Like starting day one, truly make America healthy again, please. If anyone knows more about the story, I'd love to get deeper into it. A lot of you have probably heard something about this already, but this is likely going to continue, and milestones will continue being pushed back farther and farther until we actually figure out why our children are developing at slower rates. So let's all keep a close eye on those sneaky little changes and consider why the CDC thinks it's necessary. We won't be making anything better by just going along with these kinds of things and not asking those questions. That is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to share this video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new episodes, order the Pfizer papers on Amazon, and please support us by supporting our wonderful sponsors, the Wellness Company, Birch Gold Group, and Native Path. Stay awake, stay curious, and I will see you next time.